Hey, it's John Long with Ardent Real Estate Group, and we're going to talk about what to expect from an appraisal of your home. So how does an appraisal work? Well, whether you're doing a purchase as a buyer or you're doing a refinance as a seller, your lender is going to order an appraisal from a third-party company, and that third-party company has a pool of appraisers that are associated with it, and they're going to select a appraiser in that pool, and that appraiser is going to be given guidelines from a bank stating that the comps can't be any older, meaning the sold homes that they use for the appraisal can't be any older than, let's say, 6 months. They have to meet a certain criteria, meaning they have to be within a certain size comparable to the one that they're doing the appraisal on. So there's certain guidelines that they have to meet, and also a timeline of when they have to have the report into the bank. And then once the bank receives it, they have to do their internal inspection of the appraisal to make sure that the comps meet their guidelines. And then an appraisal is probably going to cost you anywhere between $500 and up to like $650. What are the issues that we as agents see with appraisals? So one of the biggest problems that we see sometimes is these third-party companies pick sometimes from a pool of appraisers, and sometimes we'll get selected, at random we'll have an appraiser who claims they know the area but doesn't necessarily know it well enough. For example, sometimes homes on one side of the boulevard sell for a little bit more than the other, even though they're all very similar, but one goes to a different school district or a different school, and the ones on the other side just sell for a little bit higher because it goes to maybe a higher rated school. Another thing too, and this is a good example of one that we had recently, we had an appraiser come out, appraised one of our properties lower than they should have because they were giving too much weight to a comparable home that was up against a strip mall on an artery, which an artery is a busier street coming into the neighborhood, and it was also very close to a intersection. So those factors there caused that property to sell lower, and because they were giving so much weight to that comp, appraised our home for lower. In reality, that property, that mention of the strip mall and the artery and being so close to an intersection should have been mentioned, and so therefore should have given some adjustment to our home for a higher price, but there was nothing we can do about it. As a seller, it's recommended that you get an appraisal before you put your home on the market, and here's why. It's better to see the value of your home through the eyes of an appraiser versus the eyes of your agent. Now, as an agent, just because the house appraises for X amount doesn't necessarily mean I can't sell your home for a higher price, or that appraisal could have come in high, and realistically your home may not necessarily sell for that same value. But it is a good idea, just that way you can get a ballpark, you can get a feel for what an appraiser thinks of your home and how his analysis comes out on the value of your home. Because as an agent, we use things like, we're selling the home down the street and we get to see what the negotiation looked like on that home, and the one around the corner, and the one in the next neighborhood over. So we get to see all that current market activity going on. And so not only are we using facts, but we're also using what we're seeing in today's market with the actions of current buyers to determine how much we can sell your home for. An appraiser is really just using the actual hard facts and not really taking in consideration what we would look into as an agent. As a buyer, the appraisal is designed to protect both you, but also mostly your lender. In most cases, if the appraisal comes in low on a property that you're looking to purchase, then you can do a rebuttal of that appraisal. But keep in mind one thing, that the market value of a home is what a current buyer in today's market is willing to purchase, not necessarily the value that an appraisal or appraiser gives that home. So if you're looking to sell your home or possibly purchase a property and you have any other questions on appraisals, feel free to reach out to me anytime. John Long, Ardent Real Estate Group.